Thank you, Mr. Spiegelman. Now I'll give the rule to Professor Thomas Garden. Can you please join the discussion? Professor
Yes.
Thomas?
Sorry, I was
Yeah.
mute there.
Oh.
I mean, one of the biggest issues I discovered when I was starting my online education was, again, a certain level of impersonalness. You can end up looking at a blank screen or a screen endlessly of just text with this. There's no personal relationship to this. The professors and the board members have strived to allow you to have a personal relationship with your professors that make a big difference in this. It was one of the reasons that I helped join the board many years ago with Horatius, to try to provide an education for people online that you still feel like you're actually learning something and you have interaction with, do this. My degree is a practical business degree with this, but I understand the value of the education and the need for it around the globe, with this. And so my primary practice is international tax and financial service law, but the ability to help people out, and in a way that they're able to succeed has been a major primary driver of my attendance of both this conference and helping out with the board activities. Okay.
Okay, you're finished. Thank you. Then maybe I may add now our guest. He maybe not cannot talk something about the CIU, but he can maybe answer the question: how do you think COVID-19 has affected higher education worldwide? Mr. Ayebe, do you think you can answer this question, or try to give us some insight what you think about that?
All right. Thank you so very much. Yeah, I'm honored to be here. Thank you for extending the invitation to me, and also thank you, CIU, and my own dear friend, Professor Ikeji. On this, yeah, I'm over here in Turkey. I'm into education, both in classroom work and consulting with students from Middle East countries, some from Ukraine, Russia, Africa, many countries in Africa. So let me just say this. I came across a kind of humorous post from someone. He says in 1997, when for students, he said, changing patterns in exam. He said in 1997, it was like answer all the questions. And then in 2007, what students are given, answer any 5 questions. And then like in 2012, education become like, select the correct answers, A, B to C. And he says that in 2027, we have like, write either A or B as an answer. And then he observed saying in 2022, it will be, please only read the questions. And with time going on, in 2027, he said what we would have is like, thanks for coming to the exam hall. And that goes to say like the kind of changing pattern of both education and how we evaluate the students. And because of course, the COVID-19 is bearing witness that this humorous observation may just come to be. I come across a lot of students who say to me, Mr. Ben, I'm not learning anything. I mean, I sit there in front of the computer, listen to my lecturer, but to be honest, I haven't learned anything. Some have like said, I've lost interest in studying, and some complain things like, I miss school, I'm gonna go back to school. Yes, COVID-19 has really interrupted education as we know it. And like someone rightly observed, is worldwide. Both the instructors, the teachers, the students, and the whole institution have been negatively affected. And as a result, it seems that the curriculum has deviated from the conventional way of learning into, some alternative or whatever we will come up like today. And I think the overwhelming aspect of this is that even before COVID-19, some people were learning online comfortably because that was the choice, the option they chose. But with this interruption, everything is online. So it's an additional burden, additional challenge, additional lethargic feeling from the learners. And it is quite challenging. But like I've been listening to some of the members from the institution, CIU. So I believe you probably have innovative answers to make education fun through online and all that. But yes, this is a challenge that must be faced and tackled. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your very good entrance for my next question.
Recording in progress.
My next question is about how is CIU coping with the issues and challenges of providing quality education in tertiary education? What is the commitment of CIU? How is CIU responding to the situation with COVID? So this is the next bundle of questions. I'm I'm looking forward for your answers. Again, Dr. Horatius, maybe you can answer the first question. Thank you. Dr. Horatius? Hello?
CIU does have a lot of things in place in terms of personalized education of professors. I would just like Dr. Bokai or Cyril Martini, one of the deans, to step in, and then I will follow up later on.
Okay. Then
Dr. BK or Cyril Martini, one of you.
Greetings. I will step in.
Very good.
And following that. Greetings to the CIU Nation and our audience. My name is Dr. Bokai K. Robertson. I'm the Vice President of Institutional Advancement and Dean of the Graduate School at CIU. I am Professor of Microbiology and Executive Director of Graduate Programs in the Biological Sciences at Alabama State University. I am also the Chairperson of the Board of Directors of African Environmental Watch, as well as the member of the Board of Directors and Chair of Scholarship Committee of the University of Liberia Consortium. I am currently a major advisor for several graduate students' dissertation, research, and thesis. I am also a recipient of numerous national and international awards. I have published numerous papers in scientific journals and co-authored several book chapters. And I'm also an invited speaker and presenter at universities around the world. As Dr. Yoma and other panelists have rightfully said, and I would say, how dangerous is the Delta virus and the COVID and how it's changing our world? What are the opportunities and challenges of online instruction? To a world that has become weary, yet accustomed to playing defense against SARS-CoV-2. Evolution of Delta variant is both unwelcome and unsurprising. Delta, as we call it in our field, B16172, was first identified in India in December 2020. Within the matter of months, this particular variant spread to over 98 countries around the world, becoming the dominant variant in more than a dozen of those countries, including India, Scotland, the UK, Israel, and the United States. Delta is now responsible for more than 83% of COVID-19 cases being reported in the United States and With only 48% of the total US population fully vaccinated, conditions are ripe for continued evolution and spread of the SARS-CoV-2. CIU is blurring the line between online and on-site teaching and learning. Although online instruction has been used for years, the educational shift brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic exposed most instructors worldwide to some version of remote learning. For many, emergency remote teaching then give way to the development of sustained online pedagogy. CIU continues to explore the wealth of practices that are encompassed by online instruction. We envision that the issue will focus on topics such as best practices for instructional methods that incorporate an online component, for example, hybrid, high flex, flipped classroom, fully virtual, visions for remote learning in the post-COVID academic world, inclusiveness in the online classroom, novel approaches to achieve laboratory learning outcomes remotely, and online and blended learning models for high impact practices like course-based graduate and undergraduate research and service learning. Therefore, we are pleased here at CIU to announce a call for application, send your application to a university dedicated to exploring the opportunities and challenges of online instruction, including topics such as, but not limited to, and I will list some of these topics that CIU is very well versed in, like integration of online teaching practices into traditional teaching modalities, like effective use of remote technologies to increase student success, like active learning strategies using online platforms, increasing accessibility through the use of remote learning tools, effective incorporation of student engagement and discussion via online learning applications, creation of safe, effective, and equitable remote laboratory and research experiences, including the re-evaluation of laboratory learning outcomes to reflect the needs and abilities of students. Also, assessing of equity in workload for all remote students and alignment with desired competencies and learning frameworks. We also have instructor behaviors in an online setting that will encourage growth, empathy, and learning. Strategies that to foster inclusivity and equity amongst students in an online setting. We are design and also evaluation of community outreach and service learning activities for remote learners, providing online and even on campus and resources, mental health support, social networking, other services to provide belonging, enrollment and retention in online classes, the best practices for assessing student learning using online platforms. The Cavalla International University, which is headquartered in Minnesota, USA, is an accredited, accelerated accredited university, online university with different fields of study, including but not limited to the traditional degree programs, such as a bachelor's degree of science, as you heard previous speakers talk about it. And I'm in charge, and then doctor of jurisprudence, master's and doctoral studies, which I am in charge of, but also offers customized certificate and training programs to meet several workforce developmental needs that are benefits driven for all organizations to achieve their full potential. And in closing, I would say CIU uniquely stands out from many conventional universities or other academic institutions of higher learning in our program offerings, because our degree And our certificate programs are specifically designed to meet the ultimate desire of the students and business entities that squarely falls within the realm of the university's accreditation protocols. A CIU streamlines programs that are practical, affordable, flexible, and result-driven for all its degree programs. Customized certificate programs and workforce development trainings. And finally, I said, these are the core values and professionalism that CIU would like to share with you for consideration. I strongly recommend CIU graduate studies for your development and growth that will lead you to your next career. As Dean of the Graduate School at CIU, I will be glad to initiate a conversation with you in that direction. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Who is also want to ask this, to answer this question? Maybe Horatius, you can hint who is also.
Dr. Ekiji, you can jump in.
Okay. Dr. Ekiji?
Yes, good afternoon from here, West Africa. Good morning, good evening, good night. I'm very happy to talk about agriculture again and to talk about agribusiness. Just yesterday, we were discussing about the program we are deploying here. And I have, for more than a decade, I have been carrying out researches in agribusiness and agricultural marketing and all of that, food security. And I am also partnering with a lot of international networking volunteer organizations across Africa. And this Cavalla International University is actually a dream come true for Africa. Why am I saying that? Because with respect to this space of agriculture and agribusiness and also agricultural economics, the youths of Africa have not really expressed great interest in agriculture. So they still have that perception problem, and which I don't blame them. But now we are talking about the scientific and technologically driven agriculture, which the Cavalla International University College of Agriculture is ready to share that knowledge. And being that this initiative is also online, like the previous speaker, BK has spoken, Professor BK. And can I say that our programs, which has already been, we have developed, and I really want to appreciate the great woman in our midst. I have to call her a great woman indeed, Dr. Beatrice Bishop, because she developed a PET program. PET program actually stands for policy, is an acronym which stands for policy, economy, technology, and society. So that template is so simplified that we have to populate the structure the program in such a way that it will build up the entrepreneurial capacity of Africans, especially for the youths who are part of driving transformation in Africa and in the whole world. So yes, we already have audiences in Europe. We have also intending and prospective students all around the world. But for Africa, it is high time. Yeah. So can I say that also that our program? Can I mention about this programs that we have an agro hub, we have an entrepreneurship factory, we have for the agripreneurs that's focusing more on the entrepreneurship in agriculture, because we are also trying to see how to build the entrepreneurial capacity of farmers. Farmers have to be skillful, have to be innovative. And what about technology in agriculture, which of course the in this era of fourth industrial revolution, we have biotechnology, we have nanotechnology, we have vertical farming, and these initiatives are actually very important in our program. Yeah, because over time we have not really enjoyed food security as it were, and right now those initiatives like the aquaponics, the hydroponics, the aeroponics, and all of that, they are all aspects of this initiative. So we are actually encouraging those who want to chart a course in the agriculture profession, and it's quite timely, not just for agriculture, but generally, we have the entrepreneurs who are, people who are also in the corporate world, governmental bodies and non-governmental, bodies, whichever domain or arena that they are operating. They can also partner with the business marketing program also. And yeah, so and also we have a master's in agribusiness program and for the PhD in agribusiness as well. So it's structured in such a way that there will be an opportunity for them to have internship in European universities. So let me stop here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So the core idea.
Can I add something on this, Dr. Patricia? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I just want to add something. That's very interesting discussion. Just as you know, because of this COVID, most of the schools, even in many places, especially here in the US, we are returning back to normal, like bringing students to the campus. So for this fall, from the university, students have been registering since the students have been enjoying this virtual learning. So I've been receiving like many emails. Can we do this online? So now I think the students have been recognizing all the benefits behind when it comes to the online education. As we know here, when you are admitted to schools, you have to move from place to place. But that's one of the reasons they give you, because I'm here in this state, but because of this reason, I want to do this online. So is there a way to do this? So I think the whole system is moving toward that direction. So that's what I said in the beginning. I think CIU is on the right direction, thinking ahead of all these traditional schools. So with that, I think the demand is there, especially for the students. This is how, the direction we are going, because that's the reality. We have to face it. And of course, we have to also think of what are the benefits, So just to mention a few about the undergraduate studies, even if this is fully online education, but the system is already the same as what we have in many of the traditional schools, like on the programs. Like if you go to the website, if you explore in the website, all the programs, we're offering like more than 100 degrees, especially if I just talk about undergraduate studies, we have the College of Arts and Science. We have, this is Art and Science is one of the largest, especially if you go like on the traditional universities. The same thing we have here also with many discipline and specialties on this area. And the next one, we have the College of Education and Human Development. That's one of the areas we have, especially focusing, centering the community. On the third one, we have the College of Engineering and Technology. Of course, we need technology, engineering for our community to advance. And the fourth one, we have a College of Health and Science, which is, this is a college that's basically from my background close to my heart, because I have, as I said in the beginning, I have a public health background. So in this college also, we have different programs, specialties where students will take advantage of that. And the last one, we have a College of Management and Administration. So as you see here, this is almost similar to what's in many of those traditional schools. So I think if you come to CIU, it's nothing will be there saying no, but all the disciplines that's mostly appealing to students are what we have in the school. So I think with that, I think there are opportunities, especially the life learning classes, because about this pandemic, something that we have learned many things, even if positively, especially we have come up with a different teaching innovations like hybrid and those kind of things. But here we have a live teaching. It's not only like putting the video there and just leave for the students, but this is something that we do a very follow-up with the students and talk to them, and with a very strong assignment, because at the end of the day, the education that what they receive is very important for the students. That's where the success comes, because we need them to be very competitive at the end of their education. So with that, if you go to the website, if you look, we have a very well, experienced professors affiliated with the institution. As Dr. BK mentioned, as you have seen, he was explaining his background, which is very, a privilege having him. So with that all experience, I mean, this is one of the advantage. Sometimes in all these traditional schools, you don't even get those kind of things. So I think there are many uniqueness about this institution. Maybe something later on, if you have a question from our audience, specific question, something that we'll address. But there are many uniqueness that we can be interested in this CIU. Thank you.
Oh, I want to join in this discussion with a further question, because I wrote you have a broadened approach on innovations and exploring questions cross-disciplinary and boundaries. This is a very in time goal you have here. You want to create independent thinkers with great intellectual and analytical and critical skills. It's written in your program. So could you please tell us a bit about this goal? Who of you wants to do this, please?
Dr. Elizabeth?
Yes, thank you.
Because it's very special and I love this expression. Therefore, I want to know a bit more about it.
But first, education right now is not in the mainstream. And so really Cavalla International University's commitment is to bring back education to the mainstream in all parts of the world, especially those that are most affected and are very much wanting in higher education and very low in terms of literacy rate. So our commitment, as a student-centered and enduring learning institution is that we provide a excellent education to every student that come to us. We would like to, we value service learning and, service learning and experiential learning. We want to, we provide excellence in terms of delivering quality, relevant, meaningful, scientific, gender sensitive, nationalistic, but very globally competitive educational experiences to learners that come to us. And we do this, we want them to be independent thinkers. We want them to become agent of change, a catalyst of change, enduring leaders. Nowadays, we really need people that are very decisive, especially in times of crisis. So we want to train, students to become really marketable they should not just graduate from CIU, but they must, be able to find employment in whatever specialization they will have to choose. So we do this. We engage our students through high level of interaction. Dr. Yilma and Dr. Robertson, the deans of the graduate school and the undergraduate school have discussed the way we do it. We engage our students. It's not just about having, sending them letters or texts or sending them their tasks, but there is an interactive classes online. We meet them once or 2 hours, heavy discussing, most of the time, heavy discussions of topics, research. They provide a lot, they do a lot of research. They do a lot of field work. We do a lot of information sharing and very rich engagements, academic engagements. We require them to go out and experience what they have learned theoretically. Now, given the challenge and probability of being infected during this face-to-face things or the traditional, and given the challenge of not having internet, in all places, we allow our students to use, whatever platform is available. We have students all over the world. And there are a lot of challenges. We have challenges in Liberia and part of Africa, and yet because we allow them to use other platforms, although we have our Jesuit, we are able to connect to our students. One day we would like to conduct a sort of a forum with the students so that they can also provide their testimony in terms of their experiences in having education or getting their degrees with the CIU. Now, what is unique with a university? First and foremost, what we do is we would like to bring education right at the doorsteps of the students. They don't have to be worried about going to America or going to somewhere else. They will have quality, globally competent education. They don't have to go anywhere. They can stay at their house, they can stay in their homes, because we bring education right at their doorsteps. And we customize curricular programs according to their needs and, according to their societal needs. We want an education that is reflective of their own culture. So we are not growing, if you are in Africa, we don't grow, I would like to use that. We don't grow daffodils in the rainforest. So your education is reflective of your needs, and it should be responsive of your national goals. And that is the commitment of Cavalla International University. In terms of the programs, our deans have already discussed them, but let me also stress that we offer certificate programs. There are countries that have been reconstructing from calamities or probably, civil wars and all, and they have missed a lot of chances to get their education, but they need to be in schools teaching. And so CIU would like to bridge the gap we offer certificate programs. We offer continuing education programs, or we call continuing professional development programs for teachers or nurses and other medical professionals. And as indicated by Dr. Yilma too, we are into educational, entrepreneurial educational programs. Our wish is that we will be able to have a physical graduation as soon as our graduates are, our students are ready. But for now, because of COVID, we will have a sort of virtual graduation as in probably 3 or 4 months from now. And I'd like to, already invite everyone to that great event for the university. May I also inform the entire global community that CIU is establishing several centers. In terms of support to the underdeveloped countries and developing countries. That's why, when Dr. Beatriz mentioned about pets, we are very, very happy, to be partners, because we would be able to really serve our student population with that, and also the communities outside United States or the first world countries. Thank you.
So yeah, that's nice. Dr. Martini is here, the dean for the law school, but unfortunately he's very ill, even though he's here with us. So I will say a few things about his program. The law program, obviously, I would say, has the JD program, the Master of Law, and the Master of Legal Study, and the Doctor of Juridical Science. So we have 4 degrees. We also, after the 5, we have the Executive Jurisdictional degree for those who do not want to practice law. We CIU from the onset realized that we have Harvard, we have the best university. We started a method. We have a blended education from Oxford. We started a program for Oxford. We started Harvard. We recognized with what was being done and made these schools stand out, even though we're online school. We realized certain things stood out. And what stood out primarily came around the Socratic method for the law school and the case study for students in ordinary program. So the question is that we ask ourselves, we say, what helped to make them independent thinkers? And that was the one thing. Instead of spoon feeding them with knowledge, just writing things to come to class and the instructor is there telling them what to do, and they go home, they study, they memorize it, come back home, and they produce, give it back to the professor. That is now the goal of CIU. Like we said, we do theory, we do practice, and we're very heavy on research. So on every paper, on every course that is done, at the end of the course, the student has to know both the theory and the practice of that course. So the student was learning accounting. After the accounting course is done, can he do a spreadsheet? Can he do a balance sheet? Can he do a statement? Can he do a transaction? The student must put that in practice. Right. So with that being said, we say, I'm getting distracted. With that, putting those things in practice, we notice that if a student is able to do that for every course the student is able to generate those knowledge, research, produce a paper, find a practice, and say that. Give an example of a case study. Let's say, for example, a student is working at an HR place. The student is working at a place. The student is accused the boss of sexual harassment. Now, what is the normal pattern? Go to the boss or go to the HR? Suppose the HR is also in cahoots with the boss. What process is the student going to take? Is there another process? Now, we have to make the student think through this process. The student have to figure out themselves what is the answer to that question. What happens if you want to be above the bus? Is there going to be retaliation? Or what happened to you if you went to the HR? Is the HR going to also retaliate against you? Now the student have to figure out the different approaches that is available for them to address this issue. That is what creates independent thinking. It is not a matter of saying yes or no, but like a legal study, you may have yes may be right, no may be right, but also you may say I plead the fifth. In the middle may also be right. And the student has to have that ability. It doesn't matter whether the student study law or study business, they should have the ability to determine that after completing the course that they have enrolled in. We're very grateful to our professors that are here. We're so happy for the contribution they're doing for CIU. And above all, uniquely speaking, CIU does not have to have 12 students or 25 students to have a class. If we have one student, two students, we do everything to reach the need of a student. And that is another thing that makes CIU so unique. Yes, we need money, but that is not about money. Because like we say, education does not only belong to the privileged or the wealthy. We want everybody around the world to get the best qualified education. And with the best qualified professor, not just finding somebody who will just pass the course, but somebody who is uniquely qualified for that student. If the student needs a degree, a customized degree, they came to us and they said, we do not offer that degree. The student said, this is the degree that I need. We will customize a degree, change the title of our degree, initiate the degree for the sake of that one student. See that? One student. So our goal is to do everything you need to change the dynamic of education that is not just, think about this, in the US, if you got a master's degree, you probably spend $40,000, $65,000 or $70,000. At CIU, you probably spend $7,000 or way less, because we also give you scholarship, 25%, 30% scholarship. So basically, we're almost, in comparison, we are offering program free, if you say that, with the most competent professors. Dr. Ekiji, I think you wanted to say something quick before.
Yeah, let me add something there. I mean, because you mentioned we provide competent faculty. Our graduate school, the graduate schools require that only PhD holders or applied doctoral or doctorate can teach at the graduate studies, and we require the undergraduate class, the undergraduate school also require their faculty to have at least master's degree or terminal degrees. So we have a strong faculty force, but very diverse. That's why we are, what we want to create also is the culture of synergy at CIU. So
yeah, thank you very much. To add to what Dr. Kabajosha said, and to what Dr. Horatius has also said, I just remember that I needed to talk about the PhD program, because the PhD program is structured for agribusiness. It's structured in such a way that we will not have any coursework again like we normally have. Recently some universities in Africa introduced coursework again. This time around it has to be research-based PhD, and the program is also arranged and outlined and structured in such a way that those students will enjoy the benefits of training programs, virtual training programs, and also, express themselves, like a feedback on what their needs are. And then, of course, they will have an internship as well, which will build up their capacity. And also there will be, reports, seminars, present seminars from the internship that they have gone out for. And then they will also be required to, publish papers, research papers, just like Dr. Horatius rightly pointed out. So you can see that the programs are loaded, and every one of us, we have said virtually everything that has to be said. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ikeji.
This is Dr. Kofa. Dr. Bishop, if you could just allow me a few minutes.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
Of course.
I wanted to mostly on the issue of environment. And to our potential students out there, I encourage you strongly to enroll in an environmental program. We now face the global challenge of climate change. Now we face the proliferations of diseases, mostly in disadvantaged countries. Your environmental science program will teach you all about climate change, about adaptation and resilience. We'll also walk you through the process of environmental impact assessment, environmental social impact assessment. Would also lead you through the process or processes of artisanal and concession mining, most of which are very much impactful to Africa. Be mindful that when we talk about the environment and climate change, it's very critical. As you see around you, things are changing and things are happening. And the scientists are telling us that if we do not pay much attention to climate change, we might face even greater challenge and maybe send that over to our next generation. So CIU has a very unique program. Then the issue of environmental justice is another critical area. The issue of environmental journalism, which Dr. Bishop, I know she's going to agree with me for that from the background as a journalist. And there's a whole lot going on in that field. And the staff are there to teach you and walk you through. And those students graduate from any of the program without doing a research. And like our counselor said, besides the theoretical aspect, there will be practical aspect too, to prepare you better. So I want to encourage you, if you never thought about it, this is the time to think about joining the environmental program and earn your degree from CIU. Thank you, Dr. Bishop, for allowing me the time.
Dr. Bishop, can I say something on what a special program?
Because we would also to come to the last question about how students can register and summarize a bit, so that it is, if it's very important, please tell me in a short
okay, it's very
sentence.
short, since it's connected with what Dr. Kofa said,
of course.
We know, since we're talking about also pandemic, the public health program is, I think this is something that's, it's the whole globe now focusing on the public health. So because I think this is one of our failure as human beings, that we didn't do much on the disease prevention side. So I think one of the program, the public health programs, is something that's maybe students also consider, because even the traditional schools, most of them, they do it online. So I think this is something also good to look into, because the demand is out there, because most of the countries now focusing on the public health side, even in Europe or here or Africa and all other places. So we have seen also this is something that's exciting, because of this pandemic. So I think we have a very good program syllabus within the graduate program also. So I think if there's something that's interesting, we're happy also to address any inquiries from our students. So I'm just gonna say this. So thank you.
Okay. Richard, I think Dr.
Could I say something?
Yeah, go ahead. Something quick.
All right. Okay. Impressive. I see that what may have to be emphasized also from what CI is doing is that this innovation brings or gives an opportunity to candidates that would not otherwise be able to meet such levels of expertise, given that many candidates are working or they are in less privileged environments where they may not come across such expertise. And yet here is an opportunity given by universities such as yours to reach out or to have these candidates interact with people and communities and other sets of students who ordinarily they wouldn't have interacted with. So bringing expertise to remote zones and being inexpensive while maintaining the quality of education is the greater value that these innovations are bringing, and given to simulation tools and others that are available to the impact of a lack of contact classes. So even without the contact classes, the throughput is compensated by simulation tools, by expertise being available online. That is so good because it then spreads the through synergies, like the other ladies just mentioned, our colleague here, through synergies can spread, say, the technological prowess from regions that have the technological power to regions that have less of it, and thereby making the world a lot more even and tackling several problems such as reducing the impact of climate change, increasing innovation in research in artificial intelligence, and many other areas that can be greatly impacted by such synergies of people of the world. That's how I look at it. That would have to be emphasized as we promote this method of delivering knowledge by universities.
Well
taken.
Yeah.
Well taken.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. This is especially also meant with the PETS program. Because we want to spread it. We want to part this technology and create entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs, and also the consciousness for the values of sustainability and democracy and so on. So now we have all figured out the programs. We have figured out the value of CIU. We have a lot of done in the moment. Maybe we can summarize. High education in times of COVID-19 is especially a chance to prove that the concept of CIU works. Online, interdisciplinary, international, practical, as well as affordable and flexible. This could be maybe the summarize of the values of CIU. And maybe in the last round, we can somebody can explain how interested students can register to CIU. Maybe who of you wants to answer this question?
That's right.
Dr.
Go
Horatius,
ahead.
yes.
Riza is going to talk about that.
Please.
Go ahead, Riza.
Thank you, Horatius. Good morning, everyone.
Oh.
So we're going to talk about admissions to Cavalla International University. I will be sharing my screen. And okay, I hope everyone can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay. So again, good morning, everyone, or good evening. My name is Raisa Padilla. I am the Assistant Director for Enrollment and Admissions for Cavalla International University. So Cavalla International University, this is our website. We are an accredited American Accelerated University. And today we're going to talk about how to apply as a student, or you can say admissions. So why Cavalla University? Because basically we work with students. If you're going to look at our website, you can see on the upper left portion of our website a drop down for admissions. You have the general application requirements. You can download the application form, And you can also check our academic calendar. This is how our general application requirements page looks like. It will connect you to the page where you can download our application form or complete our application form. And then one of the requirements are to submit your transcript, a copy of your resume, and a statement of purpose for 250 words minimum. And then you have to pay the application fee for $45, and you have to sign an enrollment agreement. So I'm going back to the question, why Cavalla University? So here in CIU, we try to answer your questions as soon as possible. We reply to your inquiries and tell you what is needed. So another point is your documents as applicants or students are evaluated within only 2 weeks. And once everything is in order, you may start your classes. But of course, we send you a letter of approval. And then we also send you conditional letter of admissions if admission requirements are not completely fulfilled. And of course, if the documents are incomplete, we will inform you about the process to get the process to the needed documents. So once all the requirements are met, we send the students or the applicants a confirmation letter that will be signed by you as an agreement to the program. So if payment arrangements are needed, we create a contract detailing the details of your payment plan. And then, of course, we know here in CIU, we know that every student is different, and we personalize the interest of the students. So we do best we can to help the students, especially when it comes to tuition. And of course, we do not want our students to have financial burden. The university offers different payment plans as well. So of course, cases varies. There are students who can qualify for special discounts, and we can also waive fees if they meet the requirements needed to be qualified in that aspect. Again, CIU has open enrollment, and we start classes every semester. So if you want to check out our website, just go to Cavalla University, and then you will see a contact form on the Contact Us page if you have any questions related to admissions. We also have our contact details on the screen flashed, and then follow us on Twitter. We also have a Facebook page and a YouTube account. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Maybe we can open now the questions, or if somebody of our audience has some questions, we invite you to now start with your questions if possible. Thank you. I didn't see any questions in the chat, so therefore I'm asking now if you have some important questions to talk. Otherwise, the panel, yes, the panelists
There is
will.
You check the chat?
Right.
Yeah,
we did.
Okay.
But I mean, I guess you answered most of the question. You did very good.
So, if there are no questions, maybe I can invite. Yeah.
This is Thomas. I've got one quick question. Do we know how many different time zones we're actually operating in this thing? I'm in Asia, in Bangkok. How many people we have in Africa and the United States, Philippines? Do we know how many time zones we're operating today?
No.
I think about 8.
maybe up to 10. We got Korea. We got we got up to 10. I think we got Italy. So that's Europe. We got we got very wonderful.
That shows you the reach of the professors and the students.
Yep.
Okay,
So
Dr.
CIU doesn't sleep, right? CIU never sleeps. Somebody's always awake in CIU.
24 hours.
So,
Dr. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I wanted to, send the audience, since there seemed not to be a question
Well,
from
I
the
think there's something
audience.
from Christopher Williams here.
Okay.
Dr. Bishop, I have a question.
Oh,
with respect to the tuition, we have different countries with different economic levels. Is the tuition the same for me speaking from America or for me speaking from Liberia? Is the tuition the same? As somebody who lives in Liberia, pay the same tuition as somebody who is in America, or how does it work?
Yeah, the tuition is the same. But we like Rice has said, we take into consideration its specific student need. So the student coming with a financial situation, they have the right, if they need help, they have the right to the university. We always evaluate the documents, and we see based on that, we decide what percentage, whether they need financial aid, kind of payment plan. That we have students that pay $150 a month, after they pay a basic deposit. We have students that pay $200 a month. We have students that pay $300. We create different programs to make it work for our students that are in impoverished country. Now, that's a different situation if you have a student that's from London or a student from America. For now, we're just trying to make it affordable to everyone and everyone around the world. Yeah, I mean, a little difficult for the university, but again, the goal is student focused, student centered.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
And let me add that because we really want to cater to students that are really underprivileged, this past semester and this particular semester, the university waived school fees. They only had to pay their tuition fees. All other school fees were waived. So, we would like to enjoin interested students to enroll now, register now, because right now we are actually waiving school fees, like the registration fees, application fees, and a lot of other fees. They just have to pay their tuition fees right now, which is, if I may say so, it's varied. If you are taking undergrad courses, can you help me here, Dr. Williams? The undergrad tuition fees, and then the grads.
Oh, right. We have Tim Rice for the instead of account. We have it's about $150 per credit, $200 for the graduate. That's $175 or $200 for the master's program, and then for the JD is about $200 and then $250 and then $300 for the PhD program. Now, if you compare that to the American student, I mean, course that's anywhere from $1,500 a credit to $3,000 or more a credit. So CIU is a charitable school, but we are looking for students. We are looking for students that really want to learn, want to be independent thinkers. At the end of the day, we want them to help change the dynamic of their situation. So if you find yourself in an underprivileged situation, our instructors' purpose, the commitment, the sacrifice our instructors are making, and again, we say thank you to all of them, is because I feel that you will make a change after you have learned, after you have accomplished your goal of completing a degree at CIU. And that change will help to motivate the community as a whole. The people from our PhD program, we want them to have they have to have a commitment that they're going to contribute to the society before they get to be admitted into the program. We're not just putting people in the programs because you apply. We're just putting there are certain criteria you have to meet. And if you got in that program, for example, in terms of honesty, we do not expect our students to graduate and go out and practice dishonesty. Stop robbing the society, taking money away instead of being public servant if they work for the government, and they start mismanaging money. If this report came and they reflect bad on our university, there are consequences that university put in place. There are social tension, and if such things continue, if a person's degree could be revoked because we do not want students. We want students that will only contribute to the university and to their community as opposed to bringing disgrace to their community.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think we are finally at the end of our session. I don't know. Dr. Horatius has to decide. But I think we could explain a lot of things, as I realized. And what's your final words, Dr.?
And I can also add to that before the final words from Dr. William.
Okay.
For instance, what Dr. William and the provost, that Dr. Cavalla have said, in terms of the value of your education, we offered you a Doctor of Philosophy in Healthcare Administration, or in Public Health Management, Epidemiology, in nursing education and nursing practice, and also a master in those same areas. And if you compare that to any U.S., if you're paying under $10,000 to any U.S. university's equivalent degree, you will be paying in excess of $100,000. So just compare that. I just wanted to emphasize that.
Yep, and it doesn't take long. Students can just go research any university to see that. But look, if a student can go to a traditional university in their area, we encourage them to do so. If you can go to your school, you can go. We are giving opportunity to those that want to learn but do not have the opportunity. You want to learn, you want a degree that you do not have available in the area where you live. You can travel to UK or Germany or America because of the criteria. To get a visa, to go to all of those things, you can do that. So CIU is here to give you that privilege to stay obtain the education, the quality of the education you will have gained if you were to travel out of your country. And that's the best CIU can do. And the opportunity is there, like I said. If you prefer to go to a traditional school, we encourage that. So we're not talking down. The goal of CIU is not to talk down, take anything from traditional schools that are available in the community, but rather to give other. In fact, we're signing a lot of memorandum of understanding with a lot of universities, creating collaboration and partnership. We're in the process. We're doing that now, so that if the university, we can either offer joint degrees along with traditional universities, or the universities, we can collaborate. If they don't have the program, we can also offer the program through CIU. Our professors could take the lead in those areas. And some universities, some countries that do not have PhD or master's program, our university is in a position to try to work with this country to help them develop a PhD program or master's program. Anything that will enhance the effectiveness of any country or any society, CIU is there to help them. And that's all we want to do, just help. And build good leaders.
Thank you. Very good. Very good. President Horatius, thank you very much. I maybe want to add, because I saw that some of you joined later of our guests here. I think, is this discussion available on your website to see the whole discussion whenever our guests want to see the whole film about this?
Yeah, I think it should be.
Yeah, should be. Good. Very nice. So do you think we should finish now the discussion?
Yep. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for our panelists. Thank you for our guests, and hope to see you at CIU.
Thank you, Professor. And
Thank you, everybody.
I must add, this is our first conference, but this is the beginning of the series of conferences we're going to be having going forward. Dr. I'm very grateful that you made it, even though you are very sick. Actually, from COVID, actually, you were very sick. But yeah, he had to show his face for all of you to see that. I was there for the law school this year, and that's what it is. Fighting with the school. Now, we need to get some rest after this. Again, we thank you so much. Being on site. Thank you to your family as well. So we wish you to recover soon. Go ahead.
Thank you. Well, yeah, let me just mention some of the present faculty members. We have Dr. Jennifer Carpio, Dr. Susan Butak, Dr. Servilano Ritualo, We have, well, Mark Evans is here too. We have, I saw some other people probably they have left already. But thank you. Our students who attended, who came, who participated, thank you. Especially those that came from Liberia. They came. It's daytime in their place. So
All right.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
about
Yeah.
3:41. I also want to appreciate Josephine Favor from Zurich. She is the coordinator of African Association of Vertical Farming, and she has accepted to work with us. And in fact, she, you know, when I reconnected to her again, I was so excited because of the, you know, the package that the program has also. Like we are, you know, partnering with, rather collaborating with some universities and some institutions and some colleges that deploy some of those resources to make our program more richer and, of course, of good quality.
Let me recognize Dr. Kanda as well. He's here.
Okay.
Yeah.
How you all doing, professors? How you doing? It's nice to really see you. Thanks for coming. On a side note, we lost a vice chair, Dr. Charles Ford this year, and we also lost an adjunct professor, Dr. Quinn. So we're very sorry for the
Dr. Quinn
loss.
Jaime.
Dr. Quinn Jaime, and we send our sympathy to their family. It's been a tough year. Our goal is that we continue to go forward. So thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Until the next webinar or conference.
Yeah, thank you. That was wonderful.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you all. And you have a good day, good evening.
Let us know. Our guests, let us know if you liked it.
Yes, please. Let us
feedback.
Send messages to CIU.
Send messages and feedback. Yeah.